Okay, good morning. And in the previous class, probably this is the second class for Python. So in the previous class, we have seen who were introduced this particular Python to the world and what are the different area where exactly this Python can be used. And features of Python will be inherited from which kind of languages. And then if you want to write a particular program in Python, how the Python program can be, what are the versions of the Python. Then if you want to write hello world, how many lines will be written in the other languages and how many lines you could write in the Python. So all these things we have seen. All these things we have seen. And today we would like to pay attention and interest towards the features of the Python. How many number of features are there? And we would like to pay attention towards the features of the Python. Approximately 11 features are there. Very huge number of features are there for Python. Let us go through one by one. As I said in the previous class itself, as I said that this language is recommended for the learners, okay, who are new to computer science. They're expected to learn this particular language. Okay, so simply it is very simple language. It is very simple. As we see in the previous class, writing of one particular program is very pretty much simple. As a mathematics teacher will be define a set of statements, sim will be taken into consideration. So that is why it could be seen as like as the English statements, how the English statements will be given by mathematical teacher will be taken as it is. And it does have only 30 plus number of, only very few number of reserved words, and it is very easy also to remember all these reserved words. And then so compared to other languages, you could write the program with less number of lines. This is the very important point we need to remember here. With a very less number of lines, you could able to write the program and you could perform huge operations with less number of lines. So therefore, it is very simple because of writing with a less number of lines. It is very simple, and writing of a particular project and development of the project cost and implementation of the project will be very less. Okay, because of this particular reason, very less number of lines can be used. If number of lines will be increased, then obviously the machine which could be able to operate those number of operations could also be configuration also be gets increased. So number of lines will be very less in the sense, obviously mission size or mission configuration also be very less, so that cost of that particular project will be gets reduced. Okay, this is one more point we need to consider in terms of simple. In terms of simple, it is very simple to learn, it is very simple to write, and it is very less number of keywords with that. Okay, development of the project or development of any project using Python will be very easy, and with the cost effective kind of development will be there. And very good news for all the people is it is freeware. Okay, C must be, so previously C must be purchased, C++ must be purchased, and what is that? .NET must be purchased from the Microsoft company, and MS Office must be purchased from Microsoft company, and MS Windows must also be purchased from Microsoft company, something like that. So you may be incurred some amount to be incurred while doing some kind of operations with Microsoft products. Whereas if you go ahead with this Python, it is freeware, no license will be taken into consideration, and it is open source. Open source in the sense, so if you are able to develop any new kind of operation or any new kind of things which may be incorporated into the system, yes, you could also incorporate them, and you are also welcome to implement Python. So that is why Python has this many number of versions. Okay, so Why it is? It is here in the sense license is not required. License is not required, and it is very much free. This is the good news for all the people, all the developers. Okay, and so code is open source. Open source in the sense, as I said, the source code of your Python total language is open source. And if you want to incorporate a new item or a new operation to the Python, yes, you are very much welcome to do the same operation, and you have to incorporate a new extra operation to the Python, which would be useful for all other community. Okay, it could also be done here. And it is a high level programming language. This is very much high level programming language, which could be satisfies all kinds of high level properties which have been satisfied by all other high level languages such as C, C++, Java, Haskell, Python, Ruby, whatever the language you could consider. So whatever the operations could be possible through those languages, everything can be done here. More specifically speaking, it is functional high-level language programming, high-level programming language. It is functional, so high-level programming language. Okay, and it is very much user-friendly or programmer-friendly language. Okay, you could write your programs like anything. There is no problem. Okay, and so you are not supposed to concentrate on low-level activities such as memory occupation or memory management or security issues or any other further issues are not supposed to be taken care. And this will be taken care by PVC, so Python Virtual Machine. PVC is there, Python Virtual Machine is there. The Python virtual machine could be taking care about low-level activities, something like memory management and security management and all other operations. Okay, so that operations could not be comes to you. So that is why it is very useful and very simple kind of language. And moreover, it is platform independent. Platform in the sense we do have Microsoft operating systems are there. This is one kind of platform. Similarly, Unix operating system is there. This is another kind of platform. Similarly, so Linux operating system is there. So this is another kind of operating system. Similarly, Apple Macintosh. So Apple Macintosh kind of operating systems are there. This is another platform. So from one platform to another platform, so low-level occupations will be somewhat different. If you consider Microsoft operating systems, so low-level occupation cluster size will be 512 bytes. So whereas it could be 1024, so it is 1024, and Apple Macintosh will also 2048. 2048 so bytes, that is it is half kilobyte, it is kilobyte, and it is 2 kilobytes. So 2048 in the sense it is 2 kilobytes. Okay, some architectural differences are there within the different kinds of operating systems. So you can run your program if you prepare your program in Microsoft operating systems, and the same program can be taken into consideration and run in Unix or Linux or Apple Macintosh Mac systems. There is no problem. Everything will be same. Same kind of results will be comes from that particular program. So no need to change anymore. No need to change anything here. That is what the meaning of so platform independent. Look at this. So you could write your program anywhere else. Okay. So MS Windows, we have write a program, and that could be copied from any other operating systems. Then it could be run out without any problem. No need to rewrite the program. So is not required. Okay, if you write a particular program in C, so that must be rewritten while you have to take into Apple Macintosh, or you write a particular program in Apple Macintosh and you have to copy the same file into Linux or Unix. You have to read it. At least some 5 to 6 lines of code must be changed to run the particular program within so-called environment or so-called platform. So such kind of changes are not required. Okay, that is why it is so purely platform independent. Okay, so what does it mean? Python virtual machine. Python virtual machine is responsible to convert the mission code from one platform to another platform. That is what you need to consider. You need to take into consideration of this platform independent here. Followed by next one is portable. Portable in the sense, so you can migrate your programs from one particular platform to another platform very easily. Very easily, all Python programs will be so migrated. Already I told you, just before I told you. So if you write any program in Apple Macintosh operating system, no need to change anything. Same copy will be also run with another operating systems also. That is the point you need to remember. Okay, you need to remember that one. That is why it is called as portable. That is why it is called as portable. Okay, and at any platform you may be run the specific program. It could be gives you same kind of results. There is no change at all. So that is why it is portable. That is the reason why it is called as portable here. So you wrote a particular program in Apple Macintosh and it will be gives you some X kind of result. So same X kind of result will be given in all other platforms also. There is no change, and you may not put any kind of changes in that particular program. So that is what the point you need to understand here. And it is dynamically typed. It's very important. It's very important to be considered dynamically typed in the sense, don't consider if you put a letter, it will be gives you all instructions, something. It is not the meaning of dynamically typed. It could be, so no need to declare the variables. In C or C++ or Java, some other languages, what exactly we are supposed to do before going to use that variable, you must be declared with the type, data type, integer A, something like this. So in our C programming language, you have to start our program something like this. So before going to use one particular A variable, that is, if it is integer, you must be declare integer A, and then somewhere else somewhere else within the program, you have to A will be equal to something can be used here. So before that, you have to declare the specific variable. There must be having a declaration section in C, C++, and Java, but in Python, it is not there. Okay, declaration could not be required. Then because of not having a declaration, as and when you have to assign a value, if you assign a specific value, based on the value which we have assigned, so the type will be allocated to that particular variable automatically. So how this particular type will be allocated in the sense, that is the job of Python virtual machine. Okay, Python virtual machine will be take care about the type which is being allocated based on your value which is being allocated by you. Okay, for example, if a will be equal to, in Python, a will be equal to some 3.75 will be taken by you. Obviously, Python virtual machine can be read this particular 3.75 and identifies it is a float value. Precision value is very less, so that is why it is float value. So a will be assigned as a float. In such a way, Python virtual machine will be take care about all these issues. Okay, so that is why it is dynamically typed. And then so hence it is called as a dynamically typed. And then C++, as I told you, so it is a statically typed language. Statically typed in the sense, you must declare the variables before they are supposed to use. Okay, you must use it. You must declare the variable integer A or character A of some 200 as an array, something like that. You have to use it. You have to declare it. So that is why these are called as statically typed languages. So it is a dynamically typed and this is a statically typed. That is the basic meaning between these two. And then because of it is a dynamic typing nature, so it is more and more flexible to the user. So that is, if I would like to use a variable some x as an integer, no need to go to the declaration section and integer x, something like that has not been specified and come to after 200 lines and you have to use x. It doesn't make any sense, something like this. So that is why it is very much useful for us because of this is dynamically typed here. Then followed by, it is both procedure oriented and object oriented, and of course one more thing is there, that is functional oriented. So all these properties or features have been satisfied. All these features have been satisfied. So procedure oriented in the sense C, C++, Pascal, all these things. C and Pascal, Fortran, all these things are procedure oriented. Because there is no object orientation, only procedure orientation will be there. This will be already we have seen in the previous class. Functional programming features have been taken from C, and then modular programming has been taken from. Yeah, my internet is somewhat taking some kind of problem, so that is why I was disconnected and connected back. So, however, so C, C, Pascal, Fortran are procedure orientation kind of languages, and these are object oriented kind of languages will be C++. Because of these reasons, so we have been used both kind of operations in Python. You could able to create a class, you could able to create so functional operations, so something like that. Okay, so everything could be done here. One moment, please. Yeah, I do understand. I do understand. Because my internet connection is not that much good, so that is why my voice is being cut. I'll upload this particular video to you after completion of my class, so you can watch then. So, however, let me continue my class here. So because of this particular reason, because of these reasons, so it could be satisfies both the procedural orientation and object orientation. Both will be taken into consideration here. So here, because of these two kind of programming languages, so it could be you can get the security kind of issues on data and reusability. So basic operation or basic properties of object orientation is reusability of the data. Okay, something like this also be taken care about this particular thing. And Python is an interpreter. It is not a compiler, an interpreter. I believe that you do have some kind of a difference between a compiler and interpretation. So I hope that you do have some kind of information. So what is an interpreter and what is a compiler here? Compiler can be compile entire program at once and convert it to the object code. Okay, compilation will be compiler is a specific so translator which is used to take a complete high level program at once and it could be translated to machine codes. That is the compiler. Whereas mission code, sorry, interpreter will be taken one statement at any moment of time. That statement will be translated to mission code and execute. After execution of that statement, come back to second statement and translated execution. So statement by statement, the translation, statement by statement, execution could be there in terms of interpreter here. So because of this reason, Python is we're not supposed to so compile or translate the programs explicitly. We are not supposed to do something like that. That is what does it means in our C C++. Before going to execute your program, you must perform in Unix kind of C ANSI C. So you need to apply operate GCC followed by your C program. So let me say a.c. So hyphen object code a. You need to prepare something like this, and then you have to execute by taking the assistance of a here, this object code here. Something like that explicitly, you need not to compile your program. So this internally Python interpreter in the sense you need to remember that is so Python virtual machine. PVM will be taking care. So the translation, taking care about the translation. Okay, I mean conversion between high level language to low level. It will be taken care by PVM. And because of this reason, if any translation will be fails, if one statement will be taken into consideration during its translation will be failed. Translation from high level language to low level, it is failed. Then immediately it could be raised the syntax errors. Whereas in compiler, entire program will be taken into consideration. So it could be if syntax errors will be there, list of syntax errors will be listed out. If using the syntax errors will be listed out while it is being executed. So by any particular compilation kind of languages here, I'll show you the difference during next session onwards. Okay. So once the translations will be succeeded, then Python virtual machine. As I'm quoting this particular thing continuously, Python virtual machine. It is the responsible for execute your program. Okay. So that is why it is an interpreter. Explicitly, you need not to compile your program something like this. In blue screen C program, after writing of your program, what you are supposed to do, you have to apply for compile. So Alt F9 is compilation, Control F9 will be for execution. Compilation must be done, then followed by execution must be done. So something like that. So that is not required here. Extensible. What do you mean by extensible here in the sense? So Python will be used with other languages also. Python code can be worked with other languages also. Something like Ruby, something like mobile application, something like all other application languages. High-level language, Haskell can be used Python code. Ruby can be used Python code, something like that. It could be incorporated with other languages, and other language could also be incorporated in Python. Okay, both will be happen. So to and fro, so incorporation will be gets succeeded here. Because of this approach, what are the advantages here in the sense? Any legacy code in the sense, previously we have to C, so C++ languages are there. If you write any programs or project using these two, you can easily convert into Python code without taking much pain. You can convert this one into Python code. And second thing is performance also gets improved, because so it will take very less amount of time to be implement this particular application here. So that is why it is very easy to perform this one. These are the two advantages for because of this extensible. Okay. Somebody has raised the hand. I don't know why. Okay, however, it is embedded. What do you mean by embedded in the sense? So with other languages also you can embed the Python. So it is also embedded with all other programming languages also. So because of this particular reason, so it could be work with all other languages also. And having huge, very huge library. So Python could be having machine learning library, and then IoT library, and then data science library. Very huge extensive library is available with Python. Okay, so because of this library, so Python can be used in many area. So these are the different kinds of features. Okay, total 11 features are available, and because of these reasons, Python is much popular. That is the reason why Python has become much popular. Okay. Then followed by, as far as limitations are supposed to be concerned regarding to Python, what are the limitations we have to take into consideration here is, since it is interpreted, since it is interpreted language, so that is why performance might be somewhat reduced. Not exactly that much, but when we compare to compilation, so there is one advantage also is that as far as compilation is concerned, compilation will always create extra files. Object files must be created. So object files must be stored somewhere else in the disk. So therefore, they could be taken huge amount of extra space for storing the object code. Whereas in what do you call it, interpretation, so no need to have such kind of extra space. So extra space is not required. So therefore, it could be somewhat been considered as it is also one of the advantages only. But as per the performance point of view, it could be somewhat slow. Not that much slow, but slightly slow. And second thing is, it is not directly used for mobile applications. Directly using Python, you could not develop any mobile application. Direct mobile application could not be developed. So this is one more limitation of this particular Python. Okay, so limitations are very less if you consider this. Then identifiers. We will come into the specific lecture here. First of all, identifiers, tokens of your Python. That is, first one is identifiers. We need to discuss about identifiers very carefully because all other languages could not be taken this much clarity on this one. But here you need to take very much clarity regarding to identifiers here. What are those? A name which could be used by the Python program is called as an identifier. Otherwise, you could also define something like this. A name which could be identify an address of memory is called as an identifier. Okay, in any programming language, if you use any particular name, so which is used to identify a memory location is called as identifier. Otherwise, in simple words, a name in Python program is called an identifier. So let me say, so for example, a will be equal to 10 will be taken in memory. So somewhere else a will be gets created, somewhere else some memory will be gets created. This name of this memory will be a and the value will be 10 here. In this way it is going to store. So then a will be called as so identifier. Okay. Then followed by identifier. Of course, this could also be called as a variable. Okay, don't confuse with those. It is also called as a variable. An identifier name can be either class name, or a function name, or a module name, or a variable name. Okay, class name is so dynamically created. Function name can be dynamically created, and then so module name can be dynamically created, or variable name can be dynamically created. So therefore, yes, Radha, why you are raising the hand continuously? I don't know why. If you have any question, just type in the type in the chat box. Then I would identify. Okay, so any one of these could be considered as class name, or function name, or module name. Any one of them will be called as an identifier here. And then examples could be a will be equal to some 10, and the def. Normally functions will be defined by using a keyword that is def add. Add is one more identifier, something like that. If you want to define some variable or identifier in Python, these are the rules and regulations. Number one, it could be allowed to define only characters. Characters could be allowed. The characters might be alphabets, either lowercase and uppercase. Normally, nowadays people are using camel case. Camel case in the sense, wanted to define student name. For example, this is the variable name of Python. Student name will be, so first character will be always lowercase stud. So capital N. So this is called as capital N. This is called as camel case. This is what it is called as a camel case. Camel case will be seen in such a way. First will be lowercase letter. If you observe the camel, so the mouth, the trunk of that particular camel will be very, very low, and something like will be very high. So that is why it is called as camel case. Okay. And then all digits are allowed here. 0 to 9 digits are allowed. Only one special character is allowed, that is underscore. Only one special character is allowed, that is underscore. Okay. And then if you are supposed to use any other character, something like any other special character, something like at the rate, hash, some dollar, then we will get some syntax error, something like this. So for example, CASH, it is okay. $H. If you use something like this, it could not be considered as the proper variable name. Okay, you need to consider in such a way. And then identifier should not be start with the digit. That is, let us consider total 1 2. It is okay. Total 1 2 equal to 2 part. It is okay. But 1 2 total. So it is first is character digit, and second one also digit followed by number of characters. It should not be so a proper variable or proper identifier. So it could be used some syntax error. Okay. And then identifiers are case sensitive. Case sensitive in the sense, let us see, TOTAL will be equal to 200. Capital TOTAL will be equal to 240. For example, if you print small TOTAL, it will be gives you 200. So whereas a capital TOTAL will be prints, so it will be gives you so 240. So uppercase and lowercase will be distinguishable. They are not same. They are distinguishable. You please remember. Okay. Then followed by so identifiers. Identifiers will be taking something like this. So identifiers will be always lowercase or uppercase characters, and any identifier will be get starts with underscore, single underscore, which is called as, underscore add, something like this will be, so started like this, then this is called as private. And identifier should not be starts with digit. We know very well about this one. These are case sensitive. It's also known to us. So identifier cannot be used as a reserve words. Reserve words cannot be taken into consideration of the names of identifiers. It is also known to us. And identifier, there is no length to be defined for a number of characters to define a particular identifier. So it could be in C, only 32 characters can be used to prepare your variable name or identifier name, but here there is no limitation. You could use how much length it might be, but as per industry nominations, so it is recommended to use not much length. Okay, very important to remember, dollar sign cannot be used anywhere else. Dollar sign cannot be used anywhere else in the Python. Very importantly, if identifier will be get starts with a single underscore, then it is called as private kind of thing. Whereas double underscore will be taken, it is strongly private. It is strongly private. Okay, identifier will be starts and ends with two underscore symbols. They will be called as special names, which was defined by the Python, and they are also called as magical methods. They are also called as magical methods. It is one of very important interview question you need to remember. Something like this: underscore underscore add underscore underscore. It could be defined. So something like this. It is a magical method which is being defined here. Okay. So all system kind of methods will be defined with underscore underscore some name followed by again underscore underscore. All system methods will be defined in such a fashion. Okay. And then after this one only I have prepared for this one. Tomorrow we'll continue for reserve words, and then tomorrow, probably by tomorrow, we will enter into how to program, how to write a small program for using Python also. Okay, these are the points I would like to quote for today. So good. I will upload this particular video to Google Classroom immediately after once it has been completed.